guys.
$20.
One day.
Same tree.
Same tree.
Oh my God. I'm so.
Woo!
Holy shit! Get a shot of these.
2 farms this year. Number 1 is done.
Did you say bye, Kevin?
I did. I already did. Bye, Kevin.
Bye, Kevin.
Bye, Kevin. Bye, Kevin.
Smoked it, buddy. Look at that. You destroyed it.
Joey takes
The shop is closing up.
Make sure he takes all his right antlers.
All right, guys. Deer Shot Podcast, episode 40.
40.
40. We are in the studio today. We got Dylan and Isaac and me here. We're going to talk about the first week of turkey season because it has been super eventful. We've had 2 really, really good hunts and 1 real shitty one. But it's been a lot of fun. We don't have any birds to show for it. So we'll start it off with
we've only hunted
birds dead.
3 days, right?
Yeah, we hunted 3 days.
Okay.
Slept in 3, hunted 3.
Yeah, we're 6 days into the season.
6 days in. Yeah, tomorrow's Friday. So,
So spoiler alert, a big part of the reason why you guys aren't tagged out is sitting right here on the
If
table.
you're watching on YouTube, there's this traditional bow sitting here on the table, which I actually do.
It's about 6 foot long.
I actually do really like this bow, actually, and I just the whole setup looks cool. But we'll get into what's going on. We're gonna start with. I want to start kind of off the rails a little bit though. There is just no turkeys.
No.
I mean, the amount of gobblers now, because I was going through some trail camera pictures on my computer while I was doing some video editing, I think it was last night, and I was going through like 2017, 2018, 2019. It was nothing to get 3-4 gobblers in a group together, strutting around.
So do you think maybe we're just in a bad pocket, or do you think it's like this all over the state?
Kentucky is booming. So from what I've seen online, Kentucky has record harvests. And Ohio actually is up on its 3-year average and on last year's average.
Because according to social media, people are killing birds.
Yeah, 3,400 birds were killed, I think, like the first 5 days or something. And like the year before, there was 3,100. And the 3 or 4 year average is like 2,900.
So people are killing birds.
So birds are dying.
It also depends, too. Southern Ohio compared to up here, there's the terrain down there is similar to Kentucky. There's a lot more open land, more predators, I feel like, up here, just with coyotes and coons. They're down there, but I think they have more places to hide.
Yeah, and I saw THP was hunting Ohio. Did they end up shooting any?
No, so I just watched that video before I came over
Yeah,
here.
because it was just posted a couple
I was
days
holding
ago.
the baby. I was watching the video, waiting for my wife to get all her shit ready. She was taking the baby for a walk, and they had a 2 or 3 day turkey camp weekend on public and private land in Southern Ohio.
Yeah, with like 10 guys, 12 guys.
Didn't even hear a gobbler. So there was guys in their camp that killed birds, but Zach and the THP guys,
They didn't kill.
the one that runs the warehouse was there. I think Hayden and maybe Ben, the one that hunts with them in Southern Ohio. They didn't even. I think between the group of THP guys filming, they heard 1 gobble for the entire weekend.
So that pretty much tells you they aren't there, because most of the time
crazy.
they're gobbling at least once or twice.
Also, too, it depends on weather and scenario. Like,
It's been cold. So to be fair, it's been cold.
Yeah, it was
the
frosty
season
this morning.
opened earlier than normal. I'm going through my memories of like opening day turkey season all week, and we've been open 6 days now, so it's a little bit more, or a little bit earlier than usual.
Yeah,
Okay.
leap year, too, this year.
But they say with the sunlight and stuff, it shouldn't matter in the turkey breeding. Just I know locally, this little pocket around us, there's just less birds because we don't have. I mean, spoiler alert: if you're local. Don't come hunt by us. There is nothing on our farm.
Yeah.
There is not a single gobbler on our farm. We're 6 days into the season.
And this is multiple farms. So
In a month,
a
a month into running trail cameras, and
Yeah, my one
I don't got
farm
no gobblers.
usually has a lot of birds that there's not what there used to be.
but we did find some birds. We have some other farms. When it comes to turkey hunting, we actually branch out a little bit. I know some of the guys are going to be like, oh, the deer shop guys, they just hunt the family farm. We actually branch out for turkey hunting quite a bit. Actually, way more than deer hunting, we branch out.
Because there's always deer here.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's not gobblers.
I was thinking about it. We got your mount back, by the way. They can't see it in the videos behind the camera. But I was thinking we've killed 6 mature bucks now since 2019 on the farm. I mean, damn.
So
like,
6 mature bucks in 5 years.
Can't ask for much more than
How
that.
many turkeys?
Yours, mine.
I know, but isn't that crazy?
So
to think
yours in
about?
2021, mine in 2021. The one I killed in 2020 was on this farm, and 2019. Where's my 2020 bird?
I don't remember.
No, that was the one in the fog, I think. No, that was 17.
So that wasn't on the farm here.
Maybe I didn't kill one in 2020. So only 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Max 4. I think only 3.
So more
Ethan
mature,
killed Jake, yeah.
more mature bucks, more 130 plus bucks than gobblers killed on the farm.
Oh yeah,
in
by
the past
far,
5 years.
By far,
That's crazy.
it's not even close.
I don't know.
Though
Everything seems
it's
to
funny though.
change.
In my lifetime, I've killed more gobblers than mature bucks though.
Yeah.
But like
Oh, yeah,
recently,
by
it's
far.
been more about the mature bucks than the gobblers.
Interesting.
But
So if anybody listening has any different thoughts on that matter, or let us know why you think why this is happening around here.
Coons.
coons is
Coyotes.
mine. Coons,
it's
coyotes, possums is my number one.
Bad
We don't,
pointers
we don't
sometimes.
trap no more. Everyone baits for deer. There's just a surplus of vermin that eat turkey eggs, and we've had some wet, cold springs that have killed the poults in the nests. We hunt a lot of river bottoms here, and those rivers have been flooding.
Because we've been seeing poults in the summer, but not big groups of them. I remember there was a group. There was 2 hens and some poults that were living down by mom and dad's, and by the end of the summer, there was like 2 poults left.
Usually you see
because
jakes.
there's a lot of foxes there, and foxes will eat the hell out of some turkeys.
Yeah.
Maybe
Driving
we
around,
just-
you don't see any jakes
No.
anywhere.
A couple years ago,
Anywhere.
there was a bunch.
Oh my
though.
God, there's 15 of them running around here. It's
Yeah.
one of the ones that Ethan killed.
It's just strange to me that the birds are down, but regardless, even though the birds numbers are down, we got on some birds. And let's just start with opening day. We have this farm that we've been hunting the last couple of years. We actually didn't hunt it at all last year, and I don't think there was any. I don't think we saw any strutters or any birds in there last
I don't
year.
think so.
So we never set up on them.
No.
2 years ago, we set up on them a bunch, hunted them real hard the first week, and then they vanished, which kind of makes me nervous now because if it's similar to this year,
Yeah.
those birds should be vanishing soon. But
So, yeah, we'll see when we get back from our trip this weekend.
But Dylan noticed these birds when he was out doing some of his scouting. He noticed 2 gobblers. He thought there was 3, and there probably was 3 because we did hear 3 gobblers
Yeah.
opening day, but they weren't roosted
We're
together.
no.
But Dylan found some birds on a farm we had permission to hunt. So in the past, we had set up just the traditional like rhino blinds and hunted them with shotguns, and we hadn't been able to kill one yet on this farm. But this year, Dylan is going real hard into his recurve bow. And we'll let him talk about his setup in a little bit, but he really wants to kill a gobbler with his recurve bow. So we went in the night before, two or 3 days before opening day.
Yeah,
we went in
2
and
days.
built we call it like a Heartland bow hunter style like
Yeah.
hide.
Yeah.
You know, like it's
perfect
natural blind. We like cut down a bunch of thorn, multiflora rose bushes and weeds, and kind of built this natural type blind, and
Yep.
it has worked very well.
Worked really, really well.
We did a lot of evening time roosting in that area leading up to opening day, and we did confirm that the birds were using this big field in a river bottom, which is so they were unharvested beans. They harvested some of them. Other beans got washed out
Flooded, yeah.
from a flood, so like they left some beans.
But it doesn't look like the deer even touched them. All
No,
the
it's
pods
just still
are
the pods are still there.
Yeah.
That's
Wonder if-
bizarre.
It's
Wonder if
very
it just
bizarre.
gets rotten
If they
when it
got
does
water,
that.
if they got rotten, I think maybe
Yeah.
that's the reason why. But regardless, we found out and confirmed that they were using it. We split up the night before opening day, the Friday before opener. We all kind of split up and roosted some other spots. And I ended up roosting that farm and confirmed that there was 2 gobblers, confirmed that they flew up. I mean, we were set.
And it looked
Money.
like they walked right by our cameras.
Yeah, and we
We
have
didn't get a
we have a
picture.
Browning on video mode and a Spartan cell camera on video mode, and we know the turkeys walked by them because there's mowed edges of these fields, and they were in it. I saw them walk by these cameras. Not shit.
Yeah.
So we hate our trail cameras right now.
Yeah,
But
our
if
trail
you're-
camera game is weak right now.
It's the weakest it's ever been, to be
Especially
honest.
for turkeys.
I mean, we're in. There's a lot going on in life right now, so it's hard to run around checking trail cameras every day like I used to. But our trail camera game is weak, and the cameras we have out aren't helping us at all. Just not helping us at all. But
Nope.
we knew because I saw them, 2 birds, and everything was perfect. The only thing I was concerned about, I did watch the one gobbler fly up, and I thought and was hoping that he flew up, I'm going to say, east of where our hide was built, because we didn't really have an option with this bow, and I brought 3 cameras with me on opening day. We had to go to our hide, our blind. There was no way around it. We couldn't run and gun very well in that situation because he has to have something to draw behind. So we were married to that spot. I was hoping he flew down a little bit farther, but I didn't know for sure. So we made the decision to get up fucking balls early.
Yeah.
We were
very
in the
early.
woods balls early.
Sat there for like an hour and a half.
Yeah, we were there.
Hour
We
and
were
a half.
there probably an hour and a half before they flew down, but we were there an hour before they started gobbling. Opening day, I went over to Dylan's. We jumped in his truck. got over there. We got in super early. It was nice and dark on opening day, which is nice.
No moon, cloudy.
We sat there for about 20 minutes. We weren't in the best comfort positions. I was sitting Indian style. You were on your knees, and that's when we started to notice the twilight.
It was when I got the decoy set. I looked up and I thought I saw birds up there, so I'm slowly going back.
Yeah.
And I sit down because when I'm shooting this recurve, I have to be on my knees. I can't be sitting on my butt.
Yep.
So I just kind of kneel down. I look at Caleb. I'm like, they're literally right there, 30 yards right next to us.
So we had hens to our east, 6 of them. They were in a cottonwood. And then directly behind us, 30 yards, was a gobbler. And then there was another gobbler maybe 50, 60 yards to our east.
Yeah, one on each side of the hen, it seemed.
Yeah, they straddled the hens. But the one gobbler is directly behind us. I was in a bush tucked away so they couldn't see me. But poor Dylan was out in the open in this blind. You know, if the birds are in the field, they can't see you. But the direction that gobbler was looking, pretty open.
Yeah.
So he had to be crouched down like on his knees like a praying Buddhist for like half an hour. And I got some GoPro. I got a bunch of GoPro videos.
It was like an hour and a half.
Dude,
you sit on your knees that long and tuck your toes. It sucks. And I that wouldn't have been the case if they weren't roosted that close. I would have been able to sit and kind of move around.
We just couldn't fidget.
Yeah,
we were stuck. We were literally stuck. The good news is that bird behind us, that gobbler, at about legal light that day was about 6:10, and I would say about 5 after 6, he just started hammering.
Yeah, we can hear him spitting too.
Oh,
he was spitting up.
So he was strutting in the tree, spitting and hammer gobbling for at least, to us it felt like half an hour, but it was probably only about 15 minutes. Yeah, 10, 15 minutes. But that bird was just going to town. 30 yards behind us, above us, directly. We were directly in the path of his gobble. It was a pretty cool experience just to hear him just hammer. And we sat there, and finally got light enough. Dylan's crouched down, and we heard some rustle, and he happened to look up. He gobbled, and then he just
almost over our heads.
He went over. Yeah, he went a little bit to our right. He flew down. A bunch of hens flew down, and that other gobbler flew down, and they landed about 50 yards to our east, which is obviously too far for his recurve bow. They were out of sight of my camera, and I was using my shotgun. And it only took about 2 minutes for the hens to start feeding down the edge towards our decoys. We were running a breeding hen and a jake that day.
Yeah, breeding hen, half strut jake, which I thought with two birds, 2 toms.
Yeah, and get them fired up.
And it just, it eventually did, I guess, but just, what did they do? They worked into the hen started feeding in.
So that hunt broke a couple of the rules that I have. My rules are I don't ever hear birds gobble at night, and my decoys never fucking work. This bird, the one bird gobbled one time at night, so that rule is broken. He did gobble once a night when I was roosting him, just literal one gobble. Mm-hmm. And then we'll go through the story, but he ended up those 2 birds ended up strutting into my shooting lane. I specifically cut a lane to the east where my camera was set up on a tripod. Or actually, I was holding it for a while there. And they strutted back and forth together in a circle for, I have the time I was looking at when I was editing the videos, for 22 minutes between 30 and 35 yards. These birds just strutted back, forth, would gobble here and there.
And we had a couple hens that were like
10 yards. The 6 hens were feeding around them, and 2 of the hens came in and were in our decoy setup.
So it would have been a guaranteed kill with the shotgun.
Oh,
so that's guaranteed kill 1.
Yeah,
that's the first guarantee.
I could have shot either one of those birds at any moment during that 22 minutes. You'll see it on the video. If you're listening to this podcast, the video's already out. The video will be released Saturday, and obviously this video is being released Monday. So the video's out. Recurve Heartbreak on the channel. They were strutting around. I was switching between autofocus, manual focus, and just trying to get the best video that I could. It ended up being pretty incredible. And that went on, like I said, for about, I'd say 21 minutes. That went on. Finally, after 21 minutes of Dylan sitting there crouched without being able to see a single bird,
I can
through
see
the
hens,
through the bush.
But once you said you can't see them anymore, you kept saying they're coming, and I can see them through the bush. So they're in between mine and Caleb's both shooting lanes, and I can see them strutting, and I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I see the one just break and just start bum rushing the decoy. I'm like, holy shit!
It took 21 minutes from fly down.
Well, it was only the one.
Yeah.
The other one, which we come to find out, I think is not the dominant bird.
Yeah, we'll
hard to tell.
It's hard to say now, but
he came in half strut, puffed up, and
After 21 minutes of strutting in a circle, because
Yeah,
I have at the time on my camera, and then whoosh.
Yeah, I don't know if a hen got too close to that Jake and he just got pissed off and what I don't know what made
He
him
tucked
do it.
and just went.
But because I'm like, oh shit, it's happening right now, and came in and he came up to the decoy and kind of veered to the right, so that's when I drew.
Yeah, he came in head on and then took a turn right.
And then turned and started going back away, so I don't know if he just didn't like it. I don't think he saw me draw. He could have. But as I was drawing back, he started walking out of my frame or out of my shooting lane, and I just panicked. It was the first animal I'm trying to shoot at with a recurve. So I drawing back, I'm getting back to my anchor point, and I panic and I just let go. I was perfect, right where I wanted to be. I just needed to draw the bow back
a little bit further,
3 more inches, because my anchor point is that fletching touches my nose, and as soon as it touched my nose, my fingers are triggered to release. So it didn't get there, and as soon as I let go, I knew exactly what I did. I was like, I'm shooting low.
Yeah, that arrow came out like this because of the broadhead not being fully drawn, and it landed right between his legs.
Yeah, it was super knock high. Went perfect left and right for my angle where I wanted to be, and just went in between his legs, hit the bottom of his feathers on his wings.
This was at probably the shot was probably at, I'd say, 12 yards.
Yeah, 12.
Decoys were about 10.
Yeah, he got to about.
Decoys were right at 15.
He got close and then he turned
Oh, okay.
He was
close.
Close.
I just panicked and didn't draw back far enough, so I called a little bit. They both got.
Let me pause you real quick right there. Before this moment, Dylan yelped. Dylan literally did a 3 while they were in the tree, and then there was one time he called when they were on the ground, but we didn't call at all.
Yeah,
besides, those 2 yelping, those 2 mouth call yelps, 3 notes each.
Yep.
So a total of 6 notes is all those birds got in that first 22 minutes. There was no need to call.
No.
And I wasn't even concerned about anything because they were so close in range that no matter where they went, I was going to be able to get a shot with my shotgun.
Yeah. Well,
so as soon as you missed, those birds gobbled on their own at the miss.
At the miss, the one bird gobbled.
Yeah, he hammered.
They went, or they
the one you shot at, or the other one?
The other one.
The other one shot at the miss
because there was some ruckus.
Yeah.
Yes, and then and he flapped.
Gobbled at the miss.
So then they met up. I yelped real loud, got on the call, and then they both hammered. Called again, both hammered. So they didn't really know what was going on, but the hens did see us.
Yeah, the hens started. The 6 hens started to do one of these and go out into the beans.
Yep.
The gobblers perfectly worked into my shooting lane at first it was about 35 and they ended up at about 70, but from 35 to 70 yards they were perfectly in my shooting lane, but they were together. The whole entire time they were circling each other and strutting and gobbling together. They gobbled probably 4 or 5 times because at this point Dylan was giving them the high pitch cuts,
Yeah, and Caleb's shooting a 3.5-inch 12 gauge, so.
But they were together the whole time, strutting and gobbling, strutting and gobbling.
Yeah, so your pattern looks good at 50 yards, but it's the size of a car door.
Yeah.
So he would have killed both those turkeys
and the hens. So there was a couple times where like one of the gobblers would turn away from the other, they'd strut back to back and gobble. There'd be a hen behind them. Yeah. So the whole time, if you can see in the video, I got my gun up. And there was just no shot. I would have killed probably 3 birds with the shot, which being where we are was not good. And those birds then, the hens worked through the beans directly away from us. And the entire time, the gobblers would strut, walk 10 feet, gobble, strut, walk 10 feet, gobble, strut. And they kept looking back.
They weren't scared.
No.
I just thought that they would react different to the decoys.
They were following the head. I thought for sure that they'd come in and beat. You watch these beautiful turkey hunting videos, and the birds come in and just beat the shit out of the decoy.
Don't run away.
In a circle. That is not what happened here. Yeah. Like that bird came within a couple inches of the decoy, then.
I don't think I have killed a turkey with a decoy in probably the past 10 or 15 years.
Yeah, I mean we don't have very good luck.
Even if I'm field hunting, I'll be on an edge or something. I always have better luck when they're seeking, trying to find.
When they're trying to find those.
If you stop calling soon enough, because I have caught myself where I can see them and I call and they know that I should be right there and he just turns around. But
we caught the whole thing on 4 cameras technically. So I had my camcorder I was holding for most of the hunt, recording manually. My GoPro facing Dylan. I had Isaac's Panasonic mirrorless set on 120 frame on a tripod at the decoys. Got that situation unfolded, and then Dylan's cell camera, which was there, also caught the shot.
Yeah.
So the shot was caught by 4 different cameras.
It would have been cool if I
would have been sweet.
hit 'em.
Would have been sweet.
The trail camera video would have been awesome if you hit them. But they worked off, and then they gobbled up, went up on a ridge, kept gobbling, and then worked there. You know, they ended up getting about a mile away, maybe a little bit, half a mile away. And they were working away, and there was a river that we could not cross to get up to where they were. The river
had a lot of rain.
30, 40 feet across and 20 feet deep, 10 feet deep. There's just no way across it.
Yeah.
It's not a trickling stream. We did have a hunter come up behind us on the other side of the river that we had to wave at and whistle. And I ended up, messaging this guy on Facebook later down the road. We'll get to that after we talk about
Yeah. The farm next door is heavily hunted. So
yeah, heavily hunted. So that was opening day. Me and Dylan ended up driving around. We hunted until noon. We hit like 6 or 7 of your farms that are significant distance away, 20 miles away. 5 of those farms had trucks. 2 of those farms didn't, but the one farm we stopped at had a truck waiting to pull in there as soon as we pulled out.
Yeah.
Or side by
side, yeah.
So it was very, very crowded.
busy opening weekend.
Opening weekend.
And some of those farms I've never seen trucks at too, which kind of irks me a little bit, which is fine. But the one property I had permission to hunt solely for the past 5 to 8 years, and it was always nice because I knew there's a lot of birds in there. You can do whatever. But
it was a truck. We went to pull in, and there was a truck.
But we didn't see a single bird driving around.
No, it was a bad.
It was a beautiful day.
We
beautiful
saw
morning.
one or 2 hens.
Yeah,
bad
beautiful
day.
Morning.
Weren't seeing anything from the field or out in the open. There was another bird that we knew about that we could have went and hunted, but he got killed by our distant uncle cousin, Rod Grimm. So our cousin Brandon's dad.
Which we've talked about him on the channel before.
Yeah, he's the one that helped me kill my first bird. This is an old school turkey hunter. There was a bird that we knew on a farm that, ironically enough, we have permission on one side of the road. Dylan has permission on the other side of the road. And Rod has permission there, and he killed that bird opening morning. 24 pounds, 1.25 spurs, just a giant.
I'd love to know how many birds he's killed.
I mean, he's got to be close to 30 or 40, I'd say.
Yeah.
He's killed a bird pretty much every year since.
Used to be able to shoot 2.
Yeah.
I'm pretty close to 20 to 30. He's got to be.
Well, I mean, there's
60
only
to 80.
so many birds we could kill over the years because it was 2 birds for a while, but he's been hunting since the 80s or 90s.
2 birds a year since I was 12. Maybe missed 4 birds out of those years where I killed one. Didn't.
Regardless, the number's big.
Yeah.
The number's a lot bigger than us.
Yeah.
So shout out to Rod, killing a great bird. To be expected, and congratulations on that. So day 2 comes around. Sunday.
Master plan day.
We had master plans set up. Me and Dylan were gonna go back to the same exact spot. We were gonna send Ethan and Isaac up on that ridge on the other side of the river. They'd have to park at the farm next door to get to the other side of the river, which we had permission to be there. Everything was gonna be fucking great.
Perfect.
We got up.
Weather was glorious. We got out early.
Yeah, weather was glorious. We all got up early. We got to the pull-offs an hour. We attempted to get to the pull-offs an hour before legal light, maybe a little bit
earlier
more than
than
an hour.
that.
Early.
Yeah.
It was fucking early.
Way early.
And there was trucks at the farm me and Dylan had hunted the night before.
I had no idea they had permission for
Yeah,
it.
but they did. There was trucks at the farm next door that we wanted to send Isaac and Ethan
Bunch
to.
of trucks.
3 trucks there. Trucks everywhere. Our plan was not going to work.
So we bailed.
We all bailed.
We kind of have a hard time hunting on top of people.
Yeah,
so we
turkey
usually
hunting on
leave.
top of people is not
It
something
sucks.
we
Even
can-
though we're allowed to be there, it does suck walking
it's
in on
not
people.
fun.
Especially when they're already in there. What are you going to do? Set up right
Yeah.
next to them? It's a dickhead move.
Yeah, it just makes it
Right,
hard.
exactly. Total dickhead move. So we all bailed out. We all, Dylan went to one of his farms, the significant distance away place. Me and Isaac came back towards here, back towards home base, and we split up a couple different ways. He took Ethan, I went solo.
But we're still within earshot of the first farm.
3.1 miles.
So we're within earshot.
Yeah,
Keep that in mind.
We're 3.1 miles from that original farm. I ended up setting up. Isaac said he heard a distant gobble. Distant gobble.
Distant.
Not
Way
a
gone.
huntable gobble.
Not even in our same
Dylan
block.
heard some distant gobbles.
Over my truck.
Yeah, over his truck. I got set up and had a bunch of hens go off and fly down. Didn't hear any gobbles. But anyone that was hunting local, so Dylan wasn't around us, but me, Isaac, and Ethan, our buddy Brandon was out, our buddy Nick was out, there was a bunch of other locals out.
And it was a quiet morning.
Pitch black still.
No wind.
No wind.
No leaves
dark.
on the trees.
No wind and dark.
6:04.
It was 6:07.
6:07.
6:07. Everyone heard a shot.
Big shot. Boom.
Big shot. Boom.
Something you can hear for miles because there's no leaves, no wind. Unmistakable shotgun shot.
And it was the direction of those birds we hunted the day before. So I instantly got in the group chat and just.
So this is 6:07. It's about
6:08 was legal.
So legal light. So it's about 30 minutes before turkeys fly down. Turkeys fly down about at sunrise. So it gets light. Everybody knows from deer hunting, it gets light half an hour before sunrise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The turkeys fly down about sunrise.
And you're allowed to hunt. You are allowed to shoot them 30 minutes before sunrise. So there was that shot.
They're on the ground.
Yeah. So there was that shot. We were all kind of down about it. But obviously a shot in that direction could come from anywhere. There's nothing saying it was the birds we were hunting. We went through our morning. You know, everyone had some pretty bad hunts. Not much happened. We got back.
Pretty discouraging morning.
Yeah, discouraging morning. We got back to the house. I was eating bowl cereal, just sitting on social media, holding my baby on my couch. And I got on one of the local hunting pages on Facebook, and there was a conversation, has anyone seen any birds today? You know, and then one of the first comments on there was, no, but I heard a shot right before legal towards so-and-so town, which hurt my interest because that's where we were hunting prior. And then there was comments on that. Oh, my buddy saw a guy shoot a bird off the roost right before legal after he gobbled one time. Then another comment, I saw something along the lines of I was there, saw the guy shoot this bird off the roost. So I start sending out Facebook messages to all the characters involved. It ends up being that we know some of them. I had messaged some of them before. This is a pretty large group, 2,000 people almost. But I had conversation with these guys before. And I ended up talking to the witness who was hunting the farm next door to the farm that we hunted the day before and did watch a guy shoot the bird that we were hunting off the limb. He gobbled one time, 1 minute before legal light. Dude shot him off the limb, ran down and grabbed him, headed back to the pull-off. The guy,
insanity.
The guy that watched it happen was bow hunting by himself, so the guy had a gun. He doesn't know if there might have been another guy with him or something. He yelled at him, hey, but the guy took off. He didn't want to go try to confront him, not having a firearm. Just a shit situation, but 100% confirmed it was the bird that Dylan and me had been hunting. One of the two birds that me and Dylan had been hunting the day before. This happened 30 yards from our blind that we made. Yeah. He was roosting in the same spot, same tree. Because come to behold, the guy that we waved across the river to the day before was this guy I was talking to who witnessed the poaching. And then we actually know from Facebook the other guy that heard the shot that was hunting across the field that beat us to the pull-off. Yeah. We just, local guys we've had run-ins with before. But that Sunday,
bullshit.
Just total bullshit. And we were instantly pissed, triggered, wind out of our sails.
Not mad that the bird got killed. Don't care about that, but the whole poaching.
Yeah, I mean, if someone would have killed it on that other farm legally, it would have sucked. But good for them. Man. Dylan missed. We had our opportunity. Yeah. They killed the bird. All's fair in love and war.
Yeah.
And shoot the bird off the roost.
Yeah, that sucks.
Son of a bitch.
And people, I know people are going to ask, but we do have a personal relationship with the game warden. He was notified. He knows the whole story. Caleb talked to him. Unfortunately, there's nothing that can be done if there's no proof, if nobody has a video of this happening, if nobody knows who the guy was.
We were half a second away from video. The guy that was hunting on the other side of the river the day before and witnessed the poaching had just stopped. He had just hit the record button to stop recording.
Oh, he was filming his
moments before the bird got shot. Yeah, he was filming. He has a phone set up and a Kodak camera set up that he had with him. He stopped recording literal seconds before the bird got shot.
Wait, an actual Kodak camera?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's what he said at least. I haven't dove into exactly, the make model.
Yeah, so unfortunately.
But bird got poached. So I actually sent the game warden a text message. Hey, if you're available, can you please call me? I mean, instantly called me. Gave him the rundown. I wasn't a witness to it, so I provided the witnesses' names and their statements and what happened and where it was and my involvement in the matter, which was, we hunted there the day before, had permission, all this stuff.
So we did our due diligence on trying to resolve the situation.
He was very honest with me. Unless someone specifically says that they shot a bird at X amount of time in Medina County, which he doesn't even have access to that. It had to come from the state level. Yeah. It's very hard to convict anyone for what happened.
Unless they literally watch it happen.
I would have liked to have known it happened. Unless you're on social media sleuthing the second it happens and people are posting about it, I would have no way of knowing it happened before it did. So, to be able to try to get to the pull-off and confront.
What are you
going to
do? Confront the guy who just shot a turkey out of a tree?
Yeah, I
Take
mean,
a picture.
but if we were in our blind and that happened, we would have lost our shit.
Oh, dude.
You know, multiple guys in a blind on cameras.
Man, you can figure out where he's parking and go see who he is.
Yeah, we would try to figure it. I would have swam across that river,
dude.
At that point,
like, hey, you son of a bitch.
It's just stupid. It's just gives hunters a bad name. There's no need for it. It's just.
Yeah, you have a whole bunch of guys trying to do it right, trying to do it the hard way, literally trying to do it the hardest fucking way.
What's the fun in that?
I don't see it. That's what I don't understand
either.
You
walk up to a bird that's sleeping in a tree. You look at it. I'm gonna fucking shoot you. Why is that fun to people?
Both witnesses that heard and saw it said that the bird gobbled one time and then boom. Yeah. It was the first gobble of the morning. So that tells me it was someone that had witnessed the whole situation the day before. You know, from afar, and
got in there early and waited.
It's interesting. Like, how could these people sleep at night? Like, are they going to go brag on social media they shot a turkey, knowing that they shot it out of a tree?
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of bad press for, you're making your Instagram post, you're putting it on Facebook, you're making your YouTube videos, you're making money off YouTube, you're a social media hunter, and then you got these assholes who can't even do any of that, just killing birds illegally. For what?
Yeah, I don't understand what it's for.
I mean, you can buy turkey at the deli for fucking cheap. It is really cheap meat.
Anybody that turkey hunts know you're not doing it for the
This isn't like venison where you get a free 80 pounds of meat and a big rack to put on the wall if you're poaching these deer. You know, there are some things that you could get out of a poached deer to boost your ego, but to shoot a turkey in the dark out of the tree, I mean, what's the point of
5 pounds of dark, shitty meat.
Yeah, literally. You probably body shot it. You know, it falls out of the tree, breaks its wings. It's all like, what a fucking waste.
So
I want to see the trophy pic.
That's the thing. Like
in the back of their Honda Civic.
Yeah.
I mean, what kind of dickhead? But yeah. So then 3 days went by where I just didn't even get out of bed. So I mean, I got a newborn. To be fair, I got a newborn baby at home that doesn't like to sleep. Dylan has to work during the week. He did get up. You did get up the next day and try to hunt, I think, and just didn't have very much.
No, I woke up and drove around.
Yeah.
I woke up twice.
It took a lot of wind out of our sails.
Yeah, I woke up twice, drove around. I did find.
You're still working on that, right?
One group of birds. I haven't even had time to go ask for permission. The other group of birds I found, they told me no.
They did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
that
the
sucks.
girl I went to school
at least worth a try.
Yeah, but I did find another group with one strutter and a couple jakes, but it's very close to a lot of people. Not close to a lot of people, just close to a lot of people that hunt. So I'm sure they know they're there. I'm sure they've asked for permission, but maybe next week when I get back from Kentucky.
But we were deflated, to be honest, because there was no bird. You know, I'm monitoring cameras. We were driving around looking in the fields in the morning, doing that kind of stuff after we wake up. But, I mean, after that situation, I was just deflated. But then...
Fast forward to today.
Through the week,
yesterday.
Dylan yesterday noticed that there was a gobbler in that field with hens. So the other gobbler that didn't get poached out of the tree is still in the area doing turkey things.
Yeah.
So...
Went MIA for 3 days, roughly.
Yeah.
I mean, and I drive by every
You're right.
day.
I mean, could be
he could be there every day.
Because there was a bunch of people in there. One of his buddies got shot. Who knows where he flew off to?
Yeah.
Because the turkeys get bumped off the roost. He could fly 500 yards
and then
somewhere else.
Decided I'm not using this field anymore.
Yeah. But needless to say, we found out he was using that field again.
Yep. So we made master plan number 3.
Morning.
We were going to go in. I was going to have the shotgun. Dylan was going to have the recurve. Isaac was going to be filming with the mirrorless cameras.
Bird wasn't going to leave.
Which I fucked up.
Field.
Yeah, we'll get to that. So Isaac was filming with the mirrorless. We were going to make the greatest turkey hunting video of all time, Redemption Arc. It's going to be fucking sweet.
We already had a title of the video and everything. Recurve Redemption.
Recurve Redemption. So
you're not getting that video yet.
We got in early.
We'll get it. Don't worry.
We got in early. Same blind area set up. Got 3 guys shoved in there. Which actually worked, it worked out well until we'll tell the story. But 20 minutes went by. We're just sitting in the cold, sitting in the dark, can't see any birds from the tree. Dylan notices some movement. He starts looking at his binoculars. He's like, I'm pretty sure there's that gobbler. He's roosting in the same tree. This was the second gobbler, the one that didn't get shot. Yeah. The one that Dylan missed, actually. He was roosted a little bit to the east, maybe 50, 60 yards. And I'm pretty sure it's a gobbler.
It's still only about 120 yards from us, 100 yards from us.
No, dude.
No, closer than that.
Up in the tree. I guess the base of the tree was pretty close.
60, 70.
60 at the most.
Regardless, we started getting closer to legal light, and he just started hammering. Just
he had to gobble 25 times.
Yeah, gobbling like crazy. I had my phone open to make sure we got to legal light. We got to legal light. He stayed in the tree another 10 minutes, maybe even more.
Oh, yeah.
He was in the tree.
I don't think he flew down until 6:40.
You think so?
No, it wasn't 6.
Because I checked at 6:03, and he was still hammering. 6:03 was legal today, and he was still hammering in the tree. He went quiet for a while. Some hens started working up, and then he started gobbling a little bit more, and then he pitched.
Well, before that, he turned around.
Yeah, he
turned around and faced the other farm.
He was doing the carousel on the tree.
And we're like, oh, shit, he's going to fly
turned
to the
around,
other farm.
so I did like a soft yelp, couple of yelps.
We did more tree
I think
calling,
that turned him back around when you did that.
And he kind of turned and looked.
He wasn't roosted in the spot that could see into our blind. Like
but he could see the decoys perfectly from his angle.
Yeah, and this video won't be out yet. Did you watch the video of him in the roost? Is it any good?
Yeah, it's okay. It works.
Yeah,
I'll be able to make it work.
He was sitting there.
I mean, it's not Marty Stauffer, but it's good. It works. But he pitched down, and he pitched down right over top of us, and
it was like a fucking duck hunt.
Yeah, because
he
did was
the wing thing.
Yeah, he spread his wings and he just like tilted and he coasted down.
It almost thought he was going to land in the river.
I thought he was going to land in the decoys at 15 yards. He ended up landing right on the edge of the beans. Yeah, he veered off for whatever reason, right on the edge of the beans. I would say 22-ish.
Well, where he landed, where I watched in the video, is 27.
Okay, so he landed at
27.
And Dylan's got the recurve, and it's wide open, but it's 27. And props to him for not winging.
Well, he was,
and you would have literally had to shoot as he landed.
He landed and
turned.
Just already turned. He kind of gave us a look, and I think I was sitting.
Yeah,
like
I jumped up with the camera.
And Isaac's like this, so if you see that, if he would have landed in the field and walked in, had his focus on the decoys, it would have been a lot different.
Or if he would have landed in the decoys facing away, but he kind of landed facing us.
Yeah.
And he saw two dudes, and that's just the reality of turkey hunting.
Yeah.
He saw a cameraman lift, and he saw Dylan get ready. They pick up on that movement. And, unfortunately, we wanted him to land off to the sides and work into the decoy where he couldn't see us. But from above and where he landed out in the field, he could look directly into the blind.
It was like duck hunting.
And it would have worked. I mean, if you had a shotgun, it would have been so beautiful.
I did have a shotgun.
Because at one point, I lifted up the camera and you're in view, turkey's in view, everything's in focus, everything's beautiful.
And I'm 3 feet to the right with this huge bush in front of me. I couldn't see anything. Holding a boomstick. A literal Remington 870 3.5-inch loaded up Magnum.
I saw him tuck his wings and start walking the other way. I'm like, kid, fucking shoot him. I should have told you to move. I should have told you he's walking away. Roll over on your side or just scooch over and shoot him.
Because he walked away slow.
Yeah. I mean, by the time you could have made a move and probably shot him at 35.
I'm very conservative. I'm the kind of guy, let's just wait and see if he comes back. That's who I am.
See, I know when they tuck their wings like that.
Didn't work.
Yeah, he was spooked.
Gone.
So for the record for the audience, this is now 7 times in a row, not in a row, but 7 times in the last 2 seasons where I've had at least one. 6 times it's been 2 gobblers in shooting range and not pulled the trigger. God, I'm the worst turkey hunter ever.
And twice,
or the best. I don't know what it is. I'm either the best or the worst, but I get birds in real close and just don't shoot at them.
And it is an interesting thing in Ohio. So we have a lot of time to hunt. Even Dylan's got a lot of time to hunt sometimes before work. You can only shoot 1 bird. So that's why he's so focused on doing it with the recurve.
Yeah, and there's not, like we talked about right at the beginning of this podcast, there's not a lot of birds around. Mm-hmm. We don't have a surplus of birds. To just go out there and shoot them for the sake of shooting them doesn't feel right to me.
Because then you can't hunt the rest of the year.
And
you can't do anything.
I love filmmaking. Dylan wants to make life harder on himself. He's already killed, like you said, 20 birds. So he's determined to get one with the recurve. We want to get one on film, and we want to get it on film perfectly. If we don't get a shot because everything's not perfect and the bird lives, so be it. Yeah. Then that means there's more turkeys. Yeah. This isn't a have to kill a gobbler or I'm going to die situation.
Yeah, we're in the filming business now. We're not in the killing business.
Yeah.
Well, me and Ethan.
If there was so many birds that it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
and, if I was on public land out of state, something like that, I'd probably do a little bit more because I really want to be successful in that situation.
So before we jump into this weekend, that was our 3 days of turkey hunting so far. Dylan, talk about your bow setup a little bit because people might be interested. Just what it is, what you're shooting.
I actually got that bow from a customer of ours. He just gave it to me. And he's like, "Hey, do you want this recurve?" And I looked at it. I'm like, "That's a pretty nice bow."
You know any history on it or what?
He's had it for a long time.
Geronimo gave it to Kiki.
Yeah.
kicking wolf.
Yeah.
He had to surrender it when they lost the war.
130 years old. No, it's a Martin Hunter.
It's a nice, like, it's got good woodwork. It's a nice bow.
It is. It's pretty. I don't know what kind of wood it is.
I mean, it's pretty.
But it is nice. And he got it for me.
But it is like a newer era, so like it's not like it's from 1960.
No, I would say within 20 years.
Okay.
Probably newer than that. I could probably look up the serial number on here because
You
it's still
probably
on
could.
here. But it's a 45-pound bow.
I mean, it's still got handwritten stuff on it, so it is.
Yeah.
It's not new.
Yeah.
I mean, I was watching Dylan shoot in his backyard, and he's hitting spots like this at 15 yards like it's nothing.
So it's a 45-pound bow.
45-pound bow. I think I have either rogue strings on here. I can't remember. And then the quiver set up.
What are you looking for, Isaac?
I was looking to see if that paper from our last podcast was out here still, but it's not.
But a buddy
No,
of
it's
mine,
not on there. It was on just a piece of paper.
a good friend of mine, Andy Kelly. If you don't mind me using his last name.
We've talked about him a couple
he's
times.
No,
got
I took a shameless pitch last week to get him on the podcast, and he kindly and politely told me that he's not interested in it.
Well,
I tried.
He's big into recurve, and I kind of got the itch from him, so
He
got
holds
me,
like 5 world records.
He got me all set up with arrows and stuff. I had a really hard time figuring out how to tune this thing, so he helped me with the arrows, just something simple. They're carbon trad Victory arrows.
Yep, Victory trad.
450s.
Yep. So you did your due diligence a lot more than most people do. He
Oh,
individually knock-tuned all these arrows.
I knock-tuned each one of them because I had to twist the nocks because the fletchings weren't working right, so I don't have my cock feathers not sticking, 90 degrees out. I actually have it twisted a little bit because the way it hits off my riser. Yeah, it hits off my riser and gets weird travel. But I figured all that out, got everything wrapped, got all the fletchings on, and started shooting. Shot my ass off. I shot a lot.
And he's shooting good.
Yeah, I'm shooting. I'm very happy.
I think these were like 550 grain, if I remember right.
580.
580, and they were shooting about 150 feet per second, roughly. 150 to 160 feet
and
per
yours
second.
was like 170 or something.
Yeah, because I have a little longer draw length.
I did get iron wills broadheads for them. They are pretty nasty.
So you're saying your recurve Isaac shoots 170?
Mine shot a little faster, just because I think I got more.
Same bow or your recurve?
My recurve that I have.
We should have done that. Just see if your draw length would have made a difference.
Should have shot yours.
Yeah,
you still can.
but
you're shooting the same broadheads as Jay.
Yeah, that's the one that I buried in the ground, and it looks brand new.
Gorgeous.
I mean, there's nothing that I went through rocks and shit, but.
And turkey hunting is a little weird because obviously you always want a sharp broadhead and you want the most efficient kill, but turkey hunting is a little weird because sometimes you don't want all that penetration.
Yeah,
you want your arrow to stick in the bird.
This is mainly a setup for deer hunting.
But if you hit them right, this will work.
Yeah, I do plan on deer hunting with that this year.
Are you going to deer hunt full time?
I don't know yet. Depends.
Do you have a 180 shove on camera? Are you taking this bow with you?
I don't know.
But you'll shoot Isaac's buck with that thing.
Andy would tell me.
There is something so beautiful about a properly set up trad arrow. So wood grain, fixed blade.
Of it
it's got these sweet crested wraps.
I had to use it in the thumbnail. I begged Dylan for 3 days to take a good
sweet
picture.
Sweet crested wraps, 5-inch feathers, 4-inch feathers, whatever they are on a helical. Like this thing is. It's a work of art.
It's a nasty helical on it.
It's not a work of art. That turkey death.
Yeah.
No, these do fly absolutely beautiful though.
When
first time
you
I
draw back all the way.
Yeah, when I draw back all the way. First time I shot the broadhead was over here, and it sounds quieter than the field points.
Which is nice.
Yeah. No,
I think eventually this is going to work out for us.
I'll get it. I'm determined.
We just got to find the right bird.
Yeah, depending on how eager I am, I'm definitely going to shoot a doe or two with it this year, and if I'm feeling good,
I think I'm going to take mine out too. I have a little bit different setup, but pretty.
I told Dylan me and you are going to build some hides here on the farm. We have perfect places to do hides here on the farm, to where you can shoot your recurve and I can film in slow mo with the mirrorless camera. We can kill some does early. We just got to make that stuff happen.
So that's the setup.
Yeah.
That's what he's shooting. Gorgeous setup. He's doing his due diligence, practicing, tuning, doing all that thing. He didn't just go buy a bow.
I mean, you can watch the video, which will be out Saturday. He just, unfortunately, he released it about 90% when he needed to be at 100.
Yeah, which,
I mean,
not drawing it back that far, you lose a lot of speed. Drop it.
Yeah.
Drop the arrow.
All right, off to this weekend.
Yeah,
so we finished
plans
our
for
hunt
this
so far.
weekend. We're all doing some fun shit this weekend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Me and Kayla, we're leaving tomorrow morning for Southern Ohio.
Going to the Gore Farm. Third year turkey hunting down there.
And the gores are headed, or they're there now.
The gores already have the blinds up. They're probably smashing beers, playing cornhole right now. So the gores are already there.
So it's possible there'll be some turkeys on the ground before we even get there.
They're going to hunt in the morning. If they kill, I'm telling you right now, on camera, I told Isaac this before. If they kill birds in the morning before we get there, we're just going to stop and pick them up and go straight to West Virginia.
It's another 2 hours.
We're going to West. It's only 2 more hours, and then we could all just hunt the hills of West Virginia. But if they don't kill in the morning, we're going down to the Gore Farm, their new cabin. We've been down there a few times since the cabin's been built, just getting shit set up. We're going to have a bunch of blinds set up and
make a little turkey camp video.
Yeah, we're gonna have an awesome turkey camp out of it. And there's 3 gobblers down there, so we got birds. There's plenty of birds.
We'll see the cabin for the first time, even though it's not finished. So we're gonna be living in the construction zone.
Yeah, I've shown a little bit of the cabin on the YouTube channel. It's not been finished. They paid a guy to come finish it, and he's been doing it for 8 months now, and he hasn't finished it. So I think they're gonna kick him to the curb, and we're gonna end up finishing it this summer, which is fine. But we need to have the cabin done. And then Dylan and Ethan, they're going back to Kentucky.
Going
back to Kentucky.
So hopefully they have a hell of an adventure.
Dylan killed a bird in Kentucky last year. I can put that video in the link or in the description so they can.
We're going to be a little different, though. We're going to be hunting Ethan's private land in a different section of public while we're down there. So public, I've never hunted. Ethan has hunted it. We're not too far from the place I hunted, so we might venture down there depending on what's going on.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's going to be awesome. We're good. This weekend, we're making 2 different turkey camp videos.
I am taking this.
The weather's supposed to be gorgeous.
Yeah, we might get a little bit of rain Saturday during the day, but like early mornings on Saturday and Sunday are supposed to be mint. Me and Isaac are definitely going to end up doing some shed hunting with the gores down there while we're down there probably, and we might do some catfishing. We've talked about it a lot.
Yeah, I was looking at that. I was trying to figure out. I know our audience probably doesn't know a lot about flathead fishing on the
No, because our audience is actually deer camp guys.
But
it does seem care about this turkey.
It does seem relatively early for. Well, the water temperatures are really low still.
So I was reading that. So I was listening. I get some reports from the river that's next to the cabin down there on Facebook, and a lot of people are like the diehard guys are saying that like if you're not fishing for flatheads right now, you're dumb. But I don't know anything about flathead catfish. I caught farm pond channel cats my whole life. But this river that's next to the cabin down there, we can walk out of the cabin and go fish this river, has some of the biggest flatheads in Ohio. I mean, we could catch an 80-pounder. So we're going to give it a little bit of a shot. We got to get some bait. And we're going to try for channels, obviously, too. We're going to do a little bit of catfishing while we're down
Kill
there.
the time, though.
Yeah. If the weather's warm and the beers are flowing and it's nice out, we're definitely gonna be doing some catfishing in our videos.
Yep.
So that's what's coming up.
We might have recurve redemption this weekend,
hopefully. Not on those birds here in Ohio. I don't think I'm gonna get out and hunt tomorrow morning.
I'm
very doubtful.
I'm gonna take this for private land that we hunt if it's a good set.
How many birds can you guys kill down there?
2.
Okay.
Only 1 a day.
So you can mash one with the gun and then still
and it's all day. Yeah.
Okay.
Which sounds extreme, but these guys have killed birds in Kentucky before. So.
Oh, they're there.
So then the weekend after that, it's just going to be Ohio for us. I don't know if you guys are going to go back to Kentucky or not.
It's the last weekend.
We got that Medina County Fair banquet on Saturday, so I think Ethan wants to go to that. So I don't know if we'll venture anywhere.
A lot will depend on this weekend.
I think next weekend, depending on what happens this weekend, I might go back to Kentucky or PA opens next weekend.
Yeah, we have a trip planned for May the 17th weekend. We're going to be in PA hard.
Yeah.
Like probably
Ohio
maybe even Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Can't hunt Sunday there, but 2 or 3 days potentially. Yeah. We're going to be in PA hard hunting them birds in Pennsylvania. We got some unfinished business up there, so
yes, we do.
And trout fishing for me and Isaac because we haven't been yet.
Ton of cool stuff coming up.
Yeah, ton of cool stuff coming up. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So pay attention.
Yeah, thanks for sticking around with us today. I think that's about all the thoughts we got.
Last closing remarks before we close episode 40. We might bring you a bonus podcast this weekend. We're definitely taking the podcast equipment down to the Gore camp. So
I guess it will depend on what happens.
It'll either be episode 41 next week, or you might get a midweek bonus episode.
It'd be cool too to do like Saturday. You guys call me and Ethan in.
We can. We don't. So the only problem. All that's fine.
You need
service.
Good cell service. And for us, you need the internet.
I wish there was in this situation, I wish we had a mobile podcast set up.
Well, we could voice them in.
We could voice them in, and I had that Rogue recorder they could put between them if they wanted to record something, honestly, because it has the dual recording. So I'll give Ethan that Rode recorder with a battery in it, and if they're sitting around the campfire bored, they can just set it on the table, and they can
they can do a podcast, just video, too.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So this is Deer Shot Podcast, and we are out.